head towards Freetown, do some rides. Since it is raining, I'm going to study the weather condition for a while, and then I can get back on road adventure proper. And he says, Ghana, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Sierra Leone. Which country has the best road? If the population keeps rising at a steady pace, Bo should be counting a population of about 240,000 people. Bo is also home to the Bo Stadium, built by a Chinese contractor. Definitely, it was funded by the Chinese. And it has a seating capacity of 10,000, which again makes it the second largest stadium in Sierra Leone after Shaka Stevens Stadium in Freetown, which has a seating capacity of 45,000. There is another stadium currently under construction in Bo, and that has a seating capacity of 6,000. Bo Stadium is the home stadium of Bo Rangers. And is it Nipians? I think so, Nipian Stars. Those two teams are two of Sierra Leone's top Premier League teams. And I think Bo Rangers in particular does quite well in the Sierra Leone Premier League. So Bo, historically, during the colony and the protectorate of Sierra Leone, informally as British Sierra Leone, between 1808 to 1961, was the capital of British Sierra Leone, or the Protectorate of Sierra Leone, until 1961, when independence was gained and Freetown became the capital. Maybe you can see from here, that is the Bo Stadium. Let's go to the other side and then we'll come to the main entrance here. there are some florists working in there trying to mow the lawns. But basically this is the Bull Stadium, the home stadium of Bull Rangers and Nepean Stars. I really don't know how to pronounce that, but I hope I'm right. That's it, and let's go to the other entrance and see what's there. China Aid was constructed by a Chinese contractor, so sponsored by the Chinese government. That's what we've got. Bull Stadium. So that is the police post of the stadium. There's also a playground here for children. What a spectacular view from this place. So amazing. So yeah, we've been allowed to enter. I met Nelson. Nelson is a brother from Nigeria, and he's here. This is Beshe from Sierra Leone. So Beshe from Sierra Leone, Nelson from Nigeria, Xavier from Ghana, and we are here in the Bull City Stadium. It's Sunday, so Nelson also came to just walk around. Beshe was hanging around when we came into contact. So they are my new friends that I met here in the premises of the Bull Stadium. What an honor, really. West African brothers hanging around and having fun. Yeah, so that's basically the stadium, and we are glad to be here. Nice to meet you, okay? I'll see you another time. Alright, let's see. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Alright.
Comment on our videos.
Okay. See you. So that is it for the stadium. And we are heading out. So basically this is the Kenema Highway. So the stadium is located on the Kenema Highway. It was a good time. is my favorite city in Sierra Leone. Definitely not Freetown. Just as Accra is not my favorite city in Ghana, but Kumasi. Accra is my home city, but Kumasi is my favorite city in Ghana. This is Shamingo roundabout, and I just took the third exit. If I am somebody who is not comfortable with congestion in urban areas, Bo is the best place for me. Of course, I have plans to head towards Freetown, do some rides, but I'm here in Bo for now. Since it is raining, I'm going to study the weather condition for a while, and then I can get back on road adventure proper. This is the road that leads to Gendema, the border town with Liberia. Funny enough, on the Liberian side, the border town is also called Bo. So there is Bo in Liberia and there is Bo in Sierra Leone. Okay, so the next question I'm going to take is from a brother called A.B. Jallo. I think Jallo is from Sierra Leone, and he says, Ghana, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Sierra Leone, which country has the best road? I'm going to be brutal with this answer, and I tussle that between Ivory Coast and Ghana. Eventually, I'll give it to Ivory Coast because I did a lot of off-road in Ghana than I did in Ivory Coast. So in my Ghanaian episodes, after Cape Coast, you saw pretty much off-road riding. But anyways, because of the Abidjan-Yamoussoukro highway, which is the best in West Africa so far, I'm going to give that to Cote d'Ivoire, because in Cote d'Ivoire I've not really done any off-roading. It doesn't mean they have it all set, they have it all perfect, they have it all done, because the road quality in both countries are basically the same. At some point it even appeared to me as if the Ghanaian roads were extended into Ivory Coast for the sake of the best highway in West Africa. Being in Cote d'Ivoire, I'm going to give the best road to Cote d'Ivoire. And the next question is from Yusufu Jallo. That's amazing. A lot of Jallos in the comment section. Kudos to you, our Jallo brothers and sisters. Jallo is a popular surname or last name in West Africa. Is Bo City the stopping point, or will you continue to Freetown? Bo City is not my stopping point at this time, but I'm going to be in Bo City for a while before I continue to Freetown. Next question is from a brother called Good Knocks Sir, and he says, how many days did it take? Technically, it took me a week to cross all 4 countries: Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Liberia, and Sierra Leone. So AB Jallo again is asking which of the borders was hardest for me to cross. Generally speaking, it would be Ivory Coast, mainly because at the time I was traveling, their borders were still closed due to the COVID-19 pandemic, which is fine because that was the right thing for them to do. It took me 5 hours to get into Ivory Coast, and that was the longest at a border crossing. So Ivory Coast was the hardest to cross, but they are also the most gracious and kindest officials I've met on the way. I hope that helps. Thank you. And so I'm going to go back also with a question somebody asked regarding which one is the most corrupt and which one is less corrupt. Let me just be frank to say that all 4 countries are corrupt countries in the region. There is no country in West Africa that is corruption free. But with my experience, I'm going to be brutally honest with this. No offense if your country is the most corrupt. With me, I've been on the road. I'm not talking from assumptions and presuppositions. I'm speaking from experiential reality. I've experienced all the officials. Now let me get into Liberia. The Liberian immigration officers, they tend to justify corruption. They look straight at you and demand money from you when you're not supposed to actually give them money. In my case, every document they requested for, I had them on me. But they still went ahead to say something like, give us money before we stamp your passport. It never made sense to me, and I had to challenge that request. Eventually, I moved on, and as I was leaving the checkpoint, one of the officers said to me, look, you may have won your argument with us here at the border, but trust me, the checkpoint, you may not get it easy. And truly, at some of the checkpoints, I didn't get it easy. I decided not to include those footages in my videos. I'm not an investigative journalist to expose anybody. I'm just a young man on an adventure. It was not necessary for me to include them in my footages. Just to let some of you know that I wasn't making claims of corruption and bribery out of assumptions, but it was experiential concerns that I was expressing in some of my videos. In all the countries, the one that I felt so much at home is Sierra Leone. Much, much, much at home than Liberia and Cote d'Ivoire. I think I will end the question session here because this video is probably getting too long answering all these questions. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you in the next video as I stay in Bo and ride around Bo. I know it's a family growing, and expect more adventures. Peace and blessings. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.